What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be discussing ARMS again in Smash. But last video we kind of just talked about the whole reveal and how I feel about it and what it pretty much means for future DLC characters. But this time we're going to get a little more in depth about ARMS itself and talk about who exactly from ARMS is going to get in Smash. I'm going to go over the characters that have the most likely chance based off of a couple factors, and we'll judge them that way. But if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit this like button if you enjoy the video, and let's continue. So I've actually been playing a decent amount of ARMS because I did actually play it back when it was in like a live beta around in 2017. I believe it was in June or something like that, or right before June. They had like something called the Global Test Punch where you're able to play the game and try it out back then, and that was pretty much my experience with ARMS. It was pretty cool, but it didn't seem like anything I was gonna pick up. Fast forward to now that it's been made free and I'm able to get footage for the game and actually talk about it a bit more, which, you know, obviously they did this for advertisement's sake to get people to buy the game, but it actually showed like some promise to me actually, and this whole ARMS thing is probably a stunt for ARMS 2 or something, and I wouldn't be surprised. So that's why I have a few theories on who's gonna get into Smash. But first I want to talk about the obvious characters that won't be getting in, and that way we can cross them out. So first off, I want to talk about kind of the random characters that not many people know these characters in general, but at least in the ARMS community, not that many people know or care for. So a character that perfectly fits this criteria for me is 100% Master Mummy. This big mummy dude, I don't think he's gonna make it into Smash. I don't feel like he doesn't really represent ARMS as a whole. And we'll get to Springman later, because you could say, well then why is Springman gonna be crossed out too? Why is he an assist trophy? I'll get to that later. But I feel like a character like him doesn't really represent ARMS really that well, and he's not really a popular character either. So that's pretty much the big reason, and I know popularity isn't a big good argument anymore for Smash characters, but I feel like if we're picking a character like this from ARMS to represent this series from Nintendo, they're gonna pick something at least a little more interesting. Almost all the characters that have been picked as DLC have some sort of popularity. Even Byleth, Fire Emblem fans love that character. That's actually a good character that people enjoy. The next character on the chopping block for me would be Bite and Bark. They're the robot cop looking thing and the little dog robot along with him as well. I feel like this character kind of fits the same criteria as Master Mummy, just not being, you know, interesting enough. He does have the dual mechanic, and I personally don't want another character with a dual mechanic like Ice Climbers or Rosalina and Luma. I don't really like those characters or fighting them, but that's my own personal reason. But I just feel like in general they kind of fit that same criteria of Master Mummy, of not really representing the game or being all that popular in the first place. And I'm gonna go ahead and cross out Mechanica, which is the girl in the yellow mech suit, as well as the clown Lola Pop, I believe her name is, and the person next to her as well, and Springtron, which is literally just Springman, but he's just a robot version. I feel like all these characters are all just kind of in the same league when it comes to that type of stuff. Now the rest of them I could see actually being added to the game, all for their own specific reasons actually. But then we're going to talk about who I really feel like is the best candidate and who is the most likely out of those ones that are, you know, have a good chance to be in the game. So Min Min, Twintel, Ribbon Girl, Ninjara, Cobra Kid, Helix, and Max Brass are all ones I feel that have a really good chance of getting into the game. All of these characters I just listed are either popular characters or they mean something more to the ARMS universe, kind of like Ribbon Girl. Ribbon Girl is pretty much the secondary protagonist of ARMS, and Springman is like, he's the first protagonist, except he's an assist trophy in this game. And Ribbon Girl would just be the second choice, the second most obvious choice in my opinion due to that. And then we have these other characters that are extremely popular and their designs look really good, and that's why they might actually get picked. ARMS has this thing called Party Crash, where it's kind of like a Splatoon 2 Splatfest, and this Party Crash was to determine who was the most popular character in the game, and it was between Ninjara and Min Min. and I believe Min Min actually won the most popular character within ARMS. But Min Min and Ribbon Girl are the only two obvious choices that I can really see. One, because Ribbon Girl being the secondary mascot and Min Min actually being the most popular character in the game, which makes a lot of sense. And as for the others like Twintail, Cobra Kid, Helix, and Max Brass, they're all pretty popular to their own degree, maybe besides like Max Brass and Helix, but at least Cobra Kid and Twintail have some decent popularity, and I think they could be a secondary option if they just can't find a way to make Min Min or Ribbon Girl to work, which I find, not true. I feel like they can definitely make them work. One of them is in progress right now. I feel like due to these reasons, that's why I feel like those two are probably just the most likely choice in general. It just makes a lot of sense either for it to be Min Min Girl, the most popular character, or Ribbon Girl, the secondary mascot. So to me, that just makes a lot of sense. Now let's talk about Springman and why I truly believe he is just not going to be the fighter. For one, he's an assist trophy within the game, and a lot of people are still debating on whether assist trophies can become characters or not. I don't believe they will become characters unless it happens. ARMS will be the first time we will see a spirit maybe become a character, and then that can deconfirm that characters cannot become characters if they're a spirit. But that's mainly why I have no faith in Springman becoming character, and if that happens, the floodgates are going to open and there's going to be so much Waluigi everywhere. It's kind of gonna be terrible if that happens, because community just gonna rip itself apart. But that's mainly who I think the ARMS character is going to be. It seems like not that many people actually care about ARMS, and which is not that surprising. It didn't do super well in terms of lasting a long time, but that's what I think about who is going to be in Smash. Either going to be between those two characters, in my own personal opinion. Let me know in the comments below, who do you think the ARMS character is going to be, and what do you think they're going to play like? I think my next video is going to be discussing how either one of those two characters will play, because each ARMS character has a special ability, which is pretty cool, and we can go in depth about that in the next video. And I'll see you in the next one.